you're a good boy. Make sure you don't act up, and you're going to have the money that you need, right? And what unfortunately occurs is that the nature of this economic system is one such that when black people go out and make money in the system, we are digging ourselves into a deeper hole of long-term enslavement. You know, sometimes, in fact, I look back at my own life and I think about it and I say, you know, sometimes I think really weird thoughts. Like I say, gosh, I'm really happy that white people were so mean to me. I'm really happy that they didn't make it comfortable for me, because if they had made it comfortable for me, I never would have felt like I had to go find a better solution. So sometimes what you think is a big curse is actually a blessing. I wouldn't be talking to you if white people had been nicer to me, if they'd given me the raises and the promotions that I wanted, if they'd offered me the money, you know, that I really deserved, and all these other things. So I'm actually quite happy about the fact that they didn't treat me better when I was on the corporate plantation. So don't look at it so much as a thing where you got to go through life angry and mad because of racism. Racism, if you think about it, I mean, why is it that there are people now like Dr. Claude Anderson who are explaining how black people were better off during segregation? The reason that he's able to say that is because sometimes having a certain option, while you think it might be better for you, it's actually putting you in a worse position. So you know, let's not double down on white supremacy. Let's double down on black freedom. You can invest and solve the same problems either way. And in fact, most people I know who quit their job and left, even if they're not making much money, they're almost never regretful that they left their job. I almost never see somebody, and you can tell me this if you've seen this too. I don't know anybody yet that I can think of who, you know, quit their job and because it was hard and they weren't making much money, were just like, oh my God, I got to get back to the job. I'm going to go back to my boss and ask for my old job back. Once you get a taste of freedom, it's like you're on such an elevated status that you really can't go backward anymore. Let's see here. Will you have a Forex trading program in the future? You know, Gregory, a lot of people have asked us about that, so I think I will find a Forex trader. We just haven't had a chance to dig into that. Well, we're gonna do that. Cameron says, just joining the meeting. Is the program over? We are almost done, Cameron, but you'll have a recording. I'll send everybody out a recording who came into the meeting, so you'll get a chance to get that. Let me see here. Sharita says, yes, sir. All right. Candace says, I'm the founder of Hood Uber, a software company that allows people to keep 100% of everything they earn, build their own clientele, network in the app. I would like to interview with some business experts about strategy, compliance, and business growth. Can you recommend some groups of people that I'd like to discuss the future of the business? Let me see here. Well, most of the people are probably going to cost you something if you're looking for consultation. Okay, so I can't say that they would be free, but what you might want to do is if there's a group for entrepreneurs in your city, you may want to consider doing that. You know, in the Black Business School, we've got some stuff going on where that may be helpful to you as well. Let me think here. I mean, not that I'm telling you to do this or anything, but I do private consultations with business owners that want to do this. It's just, again, it's $500 an hour, so it ain't cheap. But if you want to do that, go to assistant@boycewatkins.com, send an email to assistant@boycewatkins.com, and she can help you do that. And so I like the concept of Hood Uber. What I'd like to, okay, and you said that you have over 2,000 downloads. Okay, that's good. And so I think that the big challenge you're probably going to have with Hood Uber is figuring out a way to get the buyers and the sellers on both sides of the space. Iris, do you have an affiliate program? We had one, but we chose not to expand it because it was a lot of extra administrative work. And right now, because we're not able to really do it efficiently, we decided to go ahead and temporarily kind of put it to the side. And when I say temporarily, that means kind of indefinitely until we figure out a more efficient way to do it. Let me see. I bought the name Hood Uber because it's already a popular term in the community. People are already demonstrating it. Okay, well, I love it, Candace. I mean, I love to see it executed. So I think that if you can show where it's actually being used and working, that kind of helps a lot. I think that having a good idea is a great first step, and a great concept is important. But remember, when you're trying to do something like that, you're trying to create a market, and creating a market can be tough. Like for example, a great idea would be a black socially conscious dating app, right? And we can we can call it, I don't know, wokematchmaker.com, right? So woke black folks get together and they get to date other woke black folks, right? Tell me that wouldn't work, right? That would be beautiful, right? We could all, get all the black folks together that think the way we do, and that way they can date and marry each other and produce amazing children. Well, that's great, but what I have found is that it's really, really tough. There's a lot of work required to get them to build a market where you're bringing together the men and the women, or you're bringing together the buyers and the sellers. And it takes a ton of marketing. It takes a ton of technology expertise. It takes a ton of work, and it's tough. It doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means you better be ready to really dig in. And proof of concept is everything. So to get people to buy into the concept, sometimes it helps to be able to show them that the app is working, people are able to use it. You probably want to start it in a limited area so that you're not trying to cover the whole United States or something like that. But let me know how it goes. I wish you the best of luck. Edward, thanks, Doc. I would definitely send you an email, or an email to your assistant about Fly Nubian Kings. Okay, all right, great, Edward. I look forward to hearing from you, my friend. I have a lot of respect for you. I was very impressed with you. Sharita, do you have a program that helps with nonprofit growth? Black Money 103 actually has a person that helps out in the class as an expert by the name of Nicole Compton. Nicole Compton is an attorney. She also has an MBA, and she answers questions every week. Also, another person by the name of Jessica Smith, who is actually my personal accountant. I've worked with Nicole and Jessica. Nicole's done legal work for me. Jessica's done accounting work for me. So the people that I work with, I figured the best thing I could do for you is to bring those people to you. So what Nicole can help you do is she can answer damn near any business question you have. I mean, it's amazing how much she knows, because lawyers have a special advantage. When you know law and business, you're kind of a step up above everybody else. Jessica is a hell of an accountant, knows everything about LLCs and nonprofits and all the tax laws and rules and structures and procedures. So blackmoney103.com, our entrepreneurship program, might be something you may want to look into in order to get support for your nonprofit. Okay. All right. So one more question, and then we will go. Okay. Sharita says, thanks, Dr. B. James Pirtle says, good evening, Dr. Watkins. I'm thinking about taking over a pre-existing family business that's fallen on hard times. How do you analyze the business if this is a good idea? I would probably consider bringing in a consultant that does that for a living, that'll help you value a business. There are formulas that are based on what they call EBITDA, or as my friend Damon Dash used to call it, EBITDA. He's called it EBITDA. I was like, he was like, well, you got to look at the EBITDA. I said, the EBITDA? What is the EBITDA? What are you talking about? And he kept saying EBITDA. And I said, oh, EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, and depreciation. And then what they do is they have these multiples where you multiply the EBITDA, as Dame used to call it, and you get the valuation number for the business. Now, the problem with that, though, is that a business that's going to be sold, you got to have the ability to really look underneath every rock of that business and really just kind of know everything that's kind of going on. And the business has to be kind of neat and clean and structured to be ready for sale. And if it's not, or even if it is, I would definitely get an outside opinion. There are business valuation experts. I think it's worth it to hire somebody to go in and analyze the books. If you can't get the books or whatever, like, you got to be especially cautious, because you got some people that run businesses in ways that are not ethical and don't work so well. So I think that's very important. Nakia says, will you have a new instructor for 2019 since Dr. B isn't in school anymore? Yes, we are going to have new instructors for real estate. So we've got a lot of great people that are on board for that. So the real estate program, we aren't taking any new students in that program right now, but we've got probably about 30 real estate experts that are lined up. And what we want to do is go through and look at each one and decide who we want to bring in and who we think is the best for that position. Let's see here. Demetrius, I'm meeting with a lender on Friday, starting my own framing business. I build buildings of wood. Do you know any hard money lenders? A lot of small businesses are actually getting money from PayPal. PayPal's a pretty good lender that goes outside traditional bank. They charge a slightly higher interest rate, but if you really need the capital, PayPal might be a good place to go. So feel free to go check that out. Also, there's other companies online. There's a ton of companies, Cabbage, Lending Tree, stuff like that, where they lend money to small businesses that have trouble getting bank loans. Okay, last question from Haj. Haj, you're the last person. I have a commercial pressure washing business. How can I grow my business and find good employees? My only client right now is Taco Bell with 31 stores. If you want to grow your business and find good employees, you may want to consider bringing in somebody for at least temporarily, like tell them it's a temporary contract position. Don't make a long-term commitment, but bring somebody in that's really going to focus on that. That's really going to focus on your HR, making sure your paperwork is right, making sure your hiring process works. Because there's a way you go about interviewing people properly. There's a way you go about structuring the human resources aspect of your company properly. Because if you don't, you can end up with a lot of crazy problems, lawsuits, or Me Too situations or whatever. So you want to make sure that you lay that out, really, really well. And my thought is that if you're busy running the business, you may not be able to work on the business in terms of building out that part of the company, right? I imagine you're probably busy managing your current employees to make sure you can handle Taco Bell as your big client. So you don't want to be taken away from that when you're working on this other stuff. If I were you, I would consider bringing somebody in that can kind of oversee that. One of the biggest things I learned in business is that different people have different personalities. And so if you have different personalities, that means not everybody is going to be equally equipped to do jobs in the same way. So not everybody has the same talents. Not everybody has the same interests. Not everybody interprets the same words in the same way. And so there's a website, I think it was 16personalities.com. We went to 16personalities.com and we had everybody on our team take a personality test. And I was stunned by the fact that my assistant, for example, her test put her in this whole different category of thinking from me. And it showed me what her strengths were and what her weaknesses were. And it hit the nail right on the head in terms of helping me understand why sometimes we didn't see eye to eye. It was because our brains literally are different. And then you had other people on our team that were in different categories. So what that allowed us to do was it allowed us to, position people based on how they tested, give them tasks based on what their brain was able to process, in a more efficient way. And that really does a lot in terms of making sure you don't put a square peg in a round hole. Okay, so so that delegation piece, bringing in the right people, taking your time, I think that's extremely important. So keep that in mind as you build and as you grow. So that's it. I'm done. I am all talked out. It's so funny. Every time I do a seminar like this, I plan on talking for an hour. I kid you not. And here it is. We've hit the 2-hour mark. And so I want to say thank you guys for joining tonight. I hope that this gave you everything you were looking for. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put together the slides in a PDF and also get the video recording together. And I will email that out to you within the next 48 hours because you were here. Also, if you are a member of blackmoney103.com or blackmoney102.com, you'll see the material, the recording, as well as the slides in your login. Also, if you want to get the discount, remember 75% off on a lifetime membership on our entrepreneurship program, just go to blackmoney103.com. That's blackmoney103.com and use that password, which was escape the plantation. One word, not 3 words, one word, escape the plantation. You can have 75% off a lifetime membership and you can get your degree in school and all that stuff. Okay. So that's it. I'm done. It was real. Thank you. I love you. And I wish you guys the very, very best. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.